Hey, everybody. Welcome to a very, very special episode of The Thoughtful Bro. I'm here with debut author Mark Cecil, who has written the fantastic book, Bunyan and Henry, or The Beautiful Destiny. It is a one-of-a-kind, all-American, philosophical, spiritual, incredible adventure story. And he made just a few minutes in his very busy time in the run-up to his launch to come on this show, and I am so excited for that, not least because he is really the perfect exemplar of what I would call the thoughtful bro. Mark, welcome to the show.
Hey, man, happy to be here. And also, game recognized hat game, man. I am honored to be here.
Okay, Mark. Well, why don't we just start off by telling us what is Bunyan and Henry about?
So it's about a big mythic friendship between a white man and a black man in a big mythic America. It digs into race, capitalism, class, and ultimately it's a story about how people change their lives.
And did I hear this right, that it began as a bedtime story for your children?
You do your research. I'm impressed with you. But yeah, I wanted to tell my story, tell my kids a story about how, a white person and a black person could work together just like their mom and dad. And it became this.
Okay, so it's sort of a fairy tale, but that really did lead me to the question, like, what is the genre? I felt, Madeline Miller in this with Achilles' Song and myth retelling. I felt Colson Whitehead in this with this kind of imaginative exploration of some of America's original sins. I felt Princess Bride in this, and sort of the way that it's kind of fun and satirical and just having a great time with itself. How would you describe the genre of the book?
It's a tricky one, but I think ultimately adult fairy tale is it. It's this big, imaginative, mythological story, and it has a real powerful, swinging, hopeful ending.
Right. And another thing about it is I just felt like it was a love letter to literature. I mean, it has puzzles and riddles and maps and drawings and poems and letters and newspaper articles. And it just seemed to kind of do everything that literature can do. Like you were sort of getting behind the wheel of literature and let's see what this baby can do.
As they say in Spinal Tap, this one goes to 11. Yeah, it was just, I put everything in the kitchen sink in there.
Right. So why Bunyan and Henry? Why those two characters? Tell me that.
Well, America has a young literature, and it doesn't really have a story of, like, say, a Beowulf or an Odysseus or a Gilgamesh. It is a mythological hero story that I wanted to tell most.
And another big topic of the book, of course, is America. This is, needless to say, a divisive time in America, a dark time for many people, a time that people are wondering, where will America be a year from now? Where will America be 10, 20 years from now? But your take on America is so positive, ultimately, even though there's many dark moments of sorrow and anger. Ultimately, the story is so positive about America. And in the end, you just feel like you've been shot out of a cannon. Tell me about that optimistic take on where we're at as a country today.
Well, there's a lot of doomsayers about America, and there's a lot of warts in America's past, but there's also a lot of glory in America. And my agent recently said to me that it's strange we've come to this place where hope is a contrarian position, but it's my position, hope. It's what I want to talk about.
Yes, I feel that. I really feel that. And one last question before we wrap. You've described it as a book of personal transformation. I left my job when I was 40 and tried to chase my dreams down. This really hit for me. And this idea of following the twisty path to the beautiful destiny just sort of poetically and economically encapsulated what it's like and all the highs and lows and all the unpredictability of really trying to make a difference in your life and make your life into something it wasn't before.
Well, by coincidence, I also left my job when I was 40 to chase my dreams. So we have something in common. But look, everybody has something they want to change, their job, relationships, bodies. I believe they can do it.
Okay. Thank you. All right. We have to wrap, but one final question for you. You know that I always ask this question of everybody comes on the show, and I know you're a fan, so you know this, but imagine the ideal reader for this fabulous book. They get to the end of the book, they close it, they read the final line. Tell us in a phrase or even just a word, what is the feeling that the reader of Bunyan and Henry has?
I have thought about this, and it's not even a word. I would want them to hold the book and just be like, yes,
Yes, that totally works. It totally works. That's perfect. I've never had that answer before, but I love it. All right, folks, we're wrapping there. Mark Cecil is the author of Bunyan and Henry or The Beautiful Destiny. Please buy a copy now. It's a pre-order. You'll get it on March 26th when it comes out from Pantheon Books. But pre-orders really help the young debut authors like Mark. Mark, once again, thanks for making the time. I really appreciate it. And always good to connect with another thoughtful bro.
Hell yes, my friend. Let's go.